Now you know. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Caitlin Clark wasn't the only one gaining muscle during the offseason, because the Indiana Fever marketing team is currently dominating the WNBA. In the last week, they unveiled their new campaign, which is as subtle as a root canal without the Novocaine. To put it simply, the Fever are done playing the WNBA's collectivist PR games and pretending they're not the main event. This campaign is a full-fledged defensive assault, a double-barreled middle finger to the haters who've spent the last year disparaging Caitlin Clark's records and disparaging the new fans who have literally saved the league from oblivions.
Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate.
We're talking about social media posts that are audacious, self-assured, and direct, finally embracing the fact that the Fever are the team. Caitlin is the attraction, and the league will continue to play in Indiana. Let's get started, but first, if you're excited that the Fever are finally attacking, watch this video and subscribe for more Fever news. I promise you that this season will be an incredible journey.
Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is.
The first image that sprang to mind when I saw the new Fever campaign was Christopher Walken in Pull Hall Junkies, where he discusses the lie. The first part of that monologue essentially explains the Indiana Fever, who for the past year were the undeniable top of the WNBA food chain and generated 45% of the league's total broadcast value teams. They upgraded to NBA-sized arenas only when the Fever were in town, but for some reason, throughout the previous season and into the off-season, so many people within the WNBA ecosystem believed they could take shots at Caitlin, the fans, and the very people who changed the league's course.
New fans are sucking the life out of the WNBA right now. It's just the truth.
The attention. Maybe I'll start with you, Kels, because Lord Jesus, your team and their fans,
Jesus,
they be getting up in everybody's business.
The Indiana Fever simply took a little too long.
WNBA last season. I feel like the Indiana Fever last season were a team that just went to work, didn't say much, just let their on-court play speak for itself. Like, they were at the center of all of the drama within the WNBA. Like, everybody was coming after the Indiana Fever and coming after their fans, and they really just didn't say a word.
These days of remaining silent and allowing players and even league voices to take cheap shots without retaliating are over. This season, almost every Indiana Fever game has been chosen for national broadcast, and the team is selling out preseason games with 15,000 seats gone in minutes. Now that Stephanie White and an elite head coach are in place, along with a fully upgraded championship-caliber roster surrounding the face of women's basketball, the Fever are not only good but dangerous and prepared to run the league. The Fever organization has fully retaliated, refusing to play nice or tolerate the hate with its new. The Fever have finished pretending to be one of many. They are letting everyone know that they are the team and that their goal is to dominate. As I noted in previous video, this campaign isn't some safe PR-friendly ad. Rather, it is brazen, loud, and unapologetic.
From the court to the culture, we own the moment. We're not here to chase greatness. We're here to claim it.
This new video, which is entirely authentic American-made, terror-free swagger, is a radical departure from the Fever's performance from the previous season. Rather than avoiding the spotlight or the buzz, it fully seizes the cultural moment happening in the WNBA right now and is unrepentant about its role and dominance, but it goes beyond that. The Fever are going above and beyond simply standing up for Caitlin Clark or opposing media hate. They are blatantly declaring to the world that they are the best and making it apparent that they don't give a damn about what you think.
Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate.
That phrase, it's not just smart marketing. Our road games sound like home games, which is a direct jab at the other teams in the league. It makes it clear that the Fever have more supporters and are louder, and telling supporters to be unapologetic is a direct jab. They're saying that fans don't have to conform to a predetermined stereotype in order to support the WNBA. They're here, they're loud, they're spending their hard-earned paper money, and they don't owe anyone an apology for it. What's even more amazing is that it's all objectively true.
Because the backlash was stupid. It was stupid. A bunch of crybaby bullied their way around the Fever all last year when the Indiana Fever, specifically Caitlin Clark, is the best thing that's ever happened to women's basketball, the WNBA, and really women's sports in general. And anyone who says otherwise is out of their mind.
Now, all of this is fantastic news for the supporters who have been turning the league and packing arenas, but they've been continuously criticized for not being true WNBA fans for months. Been sacked, reprimanded, and policed. However, they are now using that criticism to their advantage. The Fever are empowering their supporters by declaring, "Yeah, you're different, and that's exactly why you're valuable," rather than merely defending them. In fact, it makes me think of what transpired with the Carolina Hurricanes, another sports team.
What I'm talking about. You never do anything like that. They're still not drawn. They're a bunch of jerks as far as I'm concerned.
Due to their unconventional celebrations following a victory, Don Cherry, a well-known Canadian hockey figure, dubbed the Hurricanes a bunch of jerks. What did the Hurricanes do? They reversed the Uno game, transformed a group of jerks into a movement, identity, and rallying cry that inspired supporters and fostered devotion. The Fever are currently accomplishing that. Just take a look at the clothing they recently unveiled.
So if you go to the team store, the Indiana Fever's team store, you will see that they have a brand new t-shirt that they are selling. And that t-shirt says, "Every game is a home game." And then on the back, it says, "Now you know," with a sold out banner with all of their basically schedule. It's like a tour t-shirt and it says, "Every game is a home game."
And this is just the beginning. The level of violence in this campaign is unprecedented.
It says here, some may think we've arrived because the world knows our game, but now you know, recognition alone was never the destination. This is the start of something unstoppable. JC Sheldon catching them strays. Our ambitions are bigger than the headlines and highlight reels.
The Fever have been unrelenting on social media lately, and that picture of JCS Sheldon getting her ankles photographed by Caitlin Clark is god-tier trolling. It's the kind of audacious and censored content that you don't often see in the WNBA, and it's sending a message that the confidence emanating from Indiana right now is incredible. They're not just stealing the show, they're thriving in it. Of course, this will irritate some WNBA purists, the ones who advocate for perpetual joy, sisterhood, and unity over rivalry, but when your team has 2 to 3 times the viewership of every other team this season, that margin will only widen with each game. But guess what? You have all the happiness you require.
So the Fever, in their game against the Minnesota Lynx, was 1.219 million. On Ion! On Ion! Follow game didn't even get half the ratings.
And although it's nice that the rest of the league doesn't like it, many people are ignoring the fact that the Fever are raising the bar and attracting more formidable competition by displaying their supremacy. They're saying, "Come at us."
If you're an Indiana Fever fan, you get super excited about something like this. If you're not an Indiana Fever fan, if you're, say, a New York Liberty fan or a Las Vegas Aces fan, this riles you up even more. So when you are going to these games where they are playing against the Indiana Fever, you are going to be more excited, more just amped up to see this. There are more rivalries, and the competitive nature of these games are heightened because of little things like this.
With 41 national broadcasts and teams really moving to NBA arenas, the Fever were already going to get every team to play when they were in town. With their newfound swagger and dominance this season, the Fever are asserting that every team will want to be the ones to knock them down a peg, and they are okay with it. They are not requesting favors. Rather, they are daring the league to try and stop them. Sure, some sentimental voices will criticize the Fever's approach, saying it is too arrogant or not in the spirit of the league, but let's face it, this is fantastic for the WNBA. This is how dynasties are formed, rivalries ignite, leagues develop, and buzz isn't created by having everyone hold hands and act. Because the Fever are dominating social media during training camp and in the media spotlight, it is evident that they think they have the team to take on the world, and based on the early returns we are seeing in camp, we can definitely understand why. It's all equal. You build it by having a team that everyone wants to beat. The Fever are becoming that team that every player is desperate to take down, and the one fans line up to see whether they love them or hate them. The new look Fever appear to be in mid-season form already, as evidenced by Caitlin Clark's nonchalant approach from half court. Similar to a free throw beyond the highlights, there are some important elements that show how much more comprehensive, tough, and deep this squad truly is, and why the rest of the league should be a little alarmed. Natasha Howard is smashing shots like she gets paid per block. First up is Sophie Cunningham, who may be the most underappreciated member of this team. She looks like the ultimate Swiss Army knife, can shoot and defend, is tenacious, energetic, and tough as.
I could see Sophie just coming in for a few minutes a game and, giving Caitlin Clark a rest or anybody else a rest, starting at the 1, migrating over to the 2, whatever. She seems to be able to do it, and she isn't looking bad while doing it. She's confident. She's hitting her targets cross court, and there is more footage showing her spotting up so she can still go over to the 2, to the 3, to the 4 even, spot up at the wing and knock down a 3.
Sophie provides them with something they didn't have last season. A player who can be used in any lineup and still have an impact, whether she's making open threes, defending the best guard on the other team, or switching things up to get things going. She's the kind of player championship teams need, and you've also got 2 significant upgrades. I'll group them together here, since they collaborate and will have a significant impact. To start, we're seeing hints of Stephanie White's coaching days, and it's clear that she has the team's full support.
Our body to move quickly and our minds to slow down. Okay, that's part of putting us in situations where it's not going to be a structure, where there's going to be some chaos. It's up to you to start to find the calm in the chaos. We got to learn to find space in chaos so that we can put people in positions to be successful.
There is a difference in energy. The framework is more rigid. There is clear communication. Players are playing with a degree of accuracy and poise that wasn't present the previous season. You don't see them looking lost on defense or out of sync on offense.
The passion she has, the intensity she has, the knowledge she has, she's teaching the game and yet not taking away from what she knows they already know, but we're building.
And that brings me to the defense coaching section too. The Fever were a below-average defensive team the previous season. They struggled with rotations, gave up too many open looks, and frequently looked lost in crucial situations, which, to be honest, cost them games they should have won. However, as training camp gets underway, the signs are already clear that this team will significantly improve defensively.
So lads, the Indiana Fever actually have a defensive philosophy. Lads, it's a miracle. It's a miracle. They have a defensive philosophy.
Lastly, let's talk about Dana Bonner, who seems to be going to have a big impact on the Fever this season both on and off the court. She's setting the tone in practice, saying the right things in interviews, and her teammates already seem to respect her like a coach or player.
Veteran, WNBA legend, champion, all-star, multiple times, versatile player, can defend, has length, knows how to score, and brings leadership to the locker room. She's talked about wanting to be a voice that the other players listen to. Kelsey Mitchell said they got the best vet in the world. And then Caitlin Clark said they want to win for DeWanna Bonner.
Overall, and returning to the campaign, this team already seems to be more than the sum of its parts. They are not only talented, but also energized right now. And perhaps most significantly, they appear to be united, gelling, locked in, having fun, and seem to really accepting the task and demands that lie before of them. There have been many discussions during the offseason about safeguarding the locker room and whether the excitement surrounding Caitlin Clark would lead to conflict. But thus far, there have been no indications of ego, stress, or drama. This team seems to be working together toward a common objective, and it's not just the fans who are noticing. The Fever's rave reviews are coming in from all over the league, including the recently renamed Women's Hoop Show. Yes, the podcast that Cheryl Swoops used to co-host, Queens of the Court, had to pay attention. Now, listen to what they have to say about the Fever. It should tell you everything.
Only good can come out of a Stephanie White run team with Caitlin Clark. I just think this is a perfect pair, and not only are they going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to make a deep run. Autumn, I know we were high on them. Are you still as high on them as we were
Yeah.
from free agency.
I'm not switching up. I'm standing 10 toes down. I really feel like the Indiana Fever are a championship contender, considering the fact all the pieces they brought over.
The ultimate goal is to simply turn Caitlin Clark fans into lifelong WNBA fans. And to do that, the league must avoid unforced mistakes like allowing envious media voices and sour player opinions to disparage the very fans who are filling arenas, driving record ratings, and bringing life to the sport. I said this in a previous video, and I'll say it again. I think this is the season the WNBA finally figures it out. Even if they have to plug their nose while taking medication, they're going above and above with their new Now You Know campaign. They're not just promoting themselves, they're celebrating their position in the league and enhancing it. It's bold, loud, confident, and precisely what the fan base needs. Every day that passes, things continue to go up for Caitlin Clark of the Fever for the WNBA and for women's basketball in general. The Lions are standing up and demonstrating to the world exactly who they are if you're still here. This isn't about one player or one team. It's about grabbing attention and building momentum that draws in more fans rather than driving them away. Say hello and thank you for watching by leaving a basketball emoji in the comments section.